In today's video, we are going to learn a bossa nova groove. This is based on one chord really, actually three positions, but it's just a variation of the same chord, which is an A major. We'll be going through these positions and we'll be focusing on a rhythm which contains some of the most important clichés of Brazilian music, of samba and bossa nova really. So what we'll be learning exactly would be the anticipation on the bass, which creates this sort of syncopation, very common in a style of Brazilian music which is called Batucada. Before we get started, if you are a first-time viewer, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified when I release my new videos. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I post other content that I don't post here on YouTube, and I also do live streaming, so it would be really cool if we stay in touch even on Instagram. Now, without further ado, let's get into the positions that I was using. So we start from the left hand. As I said, everything is in A. So this is basically a groove that shows you how magic Brazilian music is, just moving around one chord. So I start from this A major, which is really an A major at 9, right? Because I've got the 9th here. And then I move to the second position. So from 3-2 here, I go to 2-3 this way on the 6th fret. And this is just an A major 9, okay? Which means major 7 extended to the 9th, because I do have the major 7 here. Then from here I move this major 7 to the 6th, and I get this beautiful A6 9, and then I go back to the major 9. So again, the positions are very easy. The open strings are the same, this note stays the same, and just moving not really chromatically, I'm moving just the A down to the major 7, G sharp, down to the 6, the major 6, which is F sharp, and back to the major 7. That's the movement you hear. And then we'll get into what the right hand is doing now. So in order to get the rhythm, let's say this, we are obviously playing finger picking. I'm starting with my thumb on the A and the other 3 fingers, index, middle and ring. They're playing the D, G and B strings. But the cool thing about this, which you already got probably from the intro of this video, is that I'm moving these 3 fingers down so that I then move from 4-3-2 to the string 3-2-1 to get a higher end of this voicing, okay, so I move from, okay. Now the way I do this basically is counting one beat, dividing it in 8th notes, like 1 and, very simple, 1 and. So I pluck 4 strings and then I pluck 3. In the second beat, we are in 2/4 in terms of time signature, so the whole bar is made by 2 beats. So let's go to the second beat. The second beat has this kind of syncopation, which is 16th note, 8th note, 16th note. So ba, ba, ba. That's the actual rhythm that we need to have in mind, because our roll is a very percussive roll, right? So what we are going to do here, after I play, I move my bass to the low E, because in this way I get another cliche of Brazilian music. I'm basically moving my root note to the 5th. So I'm moving the bass from the root to the perfect 5th, from A to E, still using an open string, and I move from to this, okay? 16th note on the second beat with the bass, and then twice the plucking of the same 3 strings with my right hand, index, middle and ring. So that's the rhythm of the first bar, okay? Now the problem is, we don't really do this staying on the same chord. We keep this rhythm, but we anticipate the second chord, the A major 9, on the last 16th. So rather than playing this, which would be already cool, we actually do, which is super cool, because you do get the second chord earlier than you would expect it, okay? Okay, the timing again is 1 and then you count 2 E and R. On this R, the 4th 16th of the second beat, you introduce the second chord. Now, since you already played the higher end of this chord, you just play the bass at the beginning of the second bar, okay, of this A major 9, and the higher end because you already played the strings 4, 3 and 2 in the anticipation. So far we get But here, what we are going to do really, since we are mirroring the rhythm, as many times happens in Brazilian music, we're going to play the bass on the 5th of the chord here on the low E string, doing an anticipation of the bass. So the same anticipation we did play in the second beat of the first bar, it happens on the first beat of the second bar, and the way you do that is with the bass. Okay, so first, and that's the second anticipation. You play it on the 4th, 16th. So you count 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 1 E and R. On this R of the first beat, second bar, you do play the bass. And here you're just ready to play now the second part of this bar, which is as simple as playing the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string twice as 2/8 now. So 1 E and R, 2 E and R. On this R we do the anticipation. 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 1 E and R, 2 E and R. Okay, so just 2/8 notes at the end. In this way I get the first block of this groove, which is the first 2 bars. Let's listen to them slowly. Obviously the experience will also give you the feeling of when to play a little accent, like on the higher end, and when to play very short, you know, almost like a staccato, but this comes with the practice. Guys, if this is the first time you approach the Brazilian music in general, I do have another video that you can find, I think, about here, which shows you an introduction to Brazilian music, the first few clichés, the first pattern you can learn, which is a little bit easier than this. So if you are already experienced with some Brazilian music, if you played already a few songs, you can, you know, learn this groove, add your own creations, your own variations. But if you're not, just double check that video. And if you do want to check how to play a classic of Brazilian music, I also have another video which shows you how to play The Girl from Ipanema by Antônio Carlos Jobim, which is one of the classics of Bossa Nova. Now the second half of this groove, so bar 3 and bar 4, it's really the same as the first half. You just play, instead of these 2 chords, the following 2. Well, one is in common, so you just play the A6-9 and then you move back to the A major 9. So what I learned here can be just played the same way, starting from here. The rhythm is the same, the syncopation is the same. You just counted 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 1 E and R, 2 E and R. Okay, so exactly the same. This means you've got the chords, you've got the pattern. You can just listen now to the whole thing together and try it slowly. Obviously make sure to practice this with the metronome. Start slowly, even 60 BPM, 70 BPM is fine. Personally, I really like this around 110, I believe, on the metronome, so 110 on the metronome, which is pretty much what you heard in the intro of this video. You can push it up to 120, but you would lose a little bit of the definition. This is Brazilian music, it is played fast, but you need to make sure you don't lose all of the details in the groove, okay? So this is basically the whole groove, played a little bit quicker. And then you can finish, you know, on the A major, but it's up to you. So make sure that you learn all of the details in it, the cliche that we learned of alternating the bass between root and 5th, the movement into the D string, on the D string basically, between root or octave, then major 7th, major 6th, back to the major 7th, which is really cool because you groove around one chord really, and then the anticipation of the bass and the other anticipation on the last 16th, because that is what really gives you the rhythm of the Batucada. That's all for this lesson, guys. I hope you did enjoy this little groove on Brazilian music using one chord. If you do have any questions about it, about the pattern, or if you would like to know more about the Brazilian music and you would like to see other rhythms in the next few videos, please feel free to get in touch with me, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you're a first-time viewer, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you keep up with all of the upcoming videos, and you can also hit the bell icon to get notified. And feel free to join me on Instagram, where I post other content and I do live streamings, so you can join the live streamings and ask your questions live. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like it and share it with your family and friends. I hope you all stay home and stay safe, guys. This was the Bearded Guitarist. I'll be seeing you next week.